Oh dang, man! I've been on mute this whole time. I've been talking to you on the phone. Oh my God, man.
Oh snap,
Okay,
man.
but it's cool. It's cool. We still have people live on Facebook. Thank you guys for still tuning in. Work with us. Work with us. Sorry about that. Work with us. Welcome to another episode of Financial Fashion Talk Podcast, episode 36. And you
Right.
already know what it is. Yours truly. I'm the CEO, Mr. John Best.
And I'm the CFO, Mr. Riley Best. How everybody doing? How everybody doing, man?
So it's official now. Like I'm pretty sure they heard my voice this time.
Right, right. All right, man. Tighten up.
Hey,
Tighten
and
up,
if
man.
you look at me looking down at my phone, bro, I'm looking at the Facebook Live at the same time because
I bet.
I know they probably gonna be commenting or we can check the views or whatever while we're on here because it's not the same screen.
Right, right, right.
But
But that's cool. That's cool, man. But I'm pretty sure everybody heard how my day was, how I'm doing, and all of that good stuff, man. So we're gonna slide over to you, man. How you doing today, man? How was your day, man? I know you usually chill and relax on Mondays, man, because we had a podcast. But shoot, man, what did your day consist of, man? How was it?
I really tried to do nothing today. Like
Yeah,
I really wanted to really just relax today, bro. I know I say the same thing, but I really didn't want to do anything today. And
yeah,
what I pretty much did is just stayed at the house. I was gonna do some painting today, but
yeah,
we didn't get to nothing. The day was just kind of crumbled together. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But I didn't leave the house and go out and do anything in
Grandeur
particular.
special.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
Today
man.
still a good day, man. It's still a good day. Still a good day. I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? So
Most definitely, man. Most definitely.
nevertheless, bro. Also, man, I do want to ask the folks, man. We need to get a way to be able to have something to talk about first. You know what I'm saying? I do want to ask. I do want to like start asking our viewers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Excuse me.
what's something that we can actually talk about? Before we actually get into the topic for the podcast. Like, I want to interact with the people a little bit more. So, like, what's something that we can do with them? Before we actually get into the topic. But
Hey,
but that's gonna be something
hey,
fun.
hey, look, yo, I'm like, you question right now, you know what I'm saying? But like, don't forget, y'all, we not gonna answer that question. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're reaching out to y'all to answer that question. So I mean, drop your topics in the inbox, drop your topics in the comment space. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's liven it up, man. I know we've been doing this for a while now, 36 weeks. You know
Man,
what I
it's
mean?
whew.
So yeah, I know,
Hey
and it's
bro,
been
52 weeks is a year, bro.
all right, man. We like
You know what I'm
what
saying?
we like what 24 weeks off, man.
Bro, less than that. Is it 36? So that's like what, 14, 16, 16,
16. That's
16.
right. That's right. That's
Bro,
right.
that ain't nowhere, bro.
Nah, it's not, man. It's
That's
not, man.
nowhere.
But
That's
I do want to say, man, I'm thankful, for where we've accomplished to get to.
right.
Thank God for that. You know what I mean? Us consistently pushing this financial fashion movement and just trying to be an encouragement, to each and every individual that we, come in contact with. Because that's the most important thing. I believe that we started with this business. You know what I mean? It's strictly geared to helping, to being a help to others, man. And I think it's been an amazing journey. I'm sure there's more challenges to come. We ain't even went nowhere yet, man. So, but I'm
Well,
I'm
I guess
definitely
we
proud of
have,
that.
but it's like
Yeah.
it don't really feel like it though. Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I would say it don't feel like that because it's like it's so much further to go. You know what I
And we
mean?
doing the work. Like that's another point. Like that's another jewel right there, bro. Like when you used to putting in the work, you don't really realize how far you've come because
Right.
you're not always checking the scoreboard. That's
Right.
another point of like going throughout life, and when you're accomplishing goals, a lot of times we have a hard time, reaching our goals because we always trying to check. We trying to measure up where we are. Like just work. You know what I'm saying? Results is gonna come. It's gonna come regardless if you're doing the work. So like
Right.
the only reason I found out, okay, like let's with weight, when you're dealing with weight, losing weight or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you always thinking about like when you always on the scale, bro, you always see your results.
Right.
But one thing about it though, I found out that I have a stronger desire to get on the scale, or a stronger desire not to get on the scale when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do.
Huh. And why is that?
I don't want to see the truth. It's just like when you spending money that you don't know you have. It's
Hold
like
on.
it's like
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Rewind. We're gonna rewind just for a second. We're gonna rewind just for a second. Now you said when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you have a stronger desire to get on the scale.
yeah.
Because you said, and what was your reason why? What was your reason why?
You don't want to see the truth. And it's funny, like it don't make sense, but it makes sense if you
Right,
listen to what I'm saying. It's like you consciously thinking about getting on the scale because you're not doing right. You wouldn't be thinking about getting on the scale
right,
if you was actually doing the work. Like you
exactly.
know, like you don't get on the scale when you know you losing the weight. Like
Right,
it's
man.
no question. Like you can already see your results. But like you want to get on the scale because you know, like I need to check what my weight is because I know I ate such and such today, or I know I
Right,
didn't exercise today, or such and such and such. But you know, it can also go both ways. Like some people stay on the scale when they want to hold themselves accountable. You see what
right,
I'm saying? Like, because it tells you the truth. It's gonna
right.
hold you accountable because it's gonna tell you what you've been doing. So
Exactly.
like, yeah, I try not to look at it like I don't want to get on the scale, but like it's always on my mind because I feel guilty. Like you feel
Right.
guilty because you know you're not doing it. So you always have the scale on your mind because you know it's not gonna be what you want when you get on it.
Exactly. Exactly. Man, and you know what? And it's a great thing. It's a great thing that you went down that line. That kind of opened it up for today, man. With this topic that we're going to be bringing you know, uh, to the podcast today, man. And it's basically about reciprocation. You know what I'm saying? Reciprocation. Um, and I was just thinking about this the other day, man. And a lot of times, we get results in life because of decisions that we make, things that we do. And a lot of times I feel like you know what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what you're supposed to do. But when you're not aware, that like when you're not aware that you have your own personal accountability for your own self,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? Like you tend to put it off on other things. Like, you get the bad result, but instead of saying I should have did this different or I should have did that different, you know, it's like you know the truth.
Right.
You know the truth, but you're just not accepting it. You're not accepting
Wow.
it. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, man, some people get on the scale for accountability, and some people get on the scale because they know they ain't doing what they supposed to be doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, man, the people that get on the scale, for accountability purposes, they're trying to hold that self accountable. You know what I
Right.
mean? Versus getting on the scale because I know I ain't do what I was supposed to have done. You know what I mean? That's like, let me see how far I can go
Right.
before I can tighten up. You know what I mean? But if you have no self accountability, then you're not gonna see that. All you're gonna see is, if she wouldn't have said that, if he wouldn't have did that, I'd be straight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a
Yeah.
lot of times, we find ourselves doing it. But the law of reciprocation, man, is just like you get back what you put out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like what it trumps all excuses. Actually, it accepts all excuses. You know, we talked about that the other day.
Exactly, bro.
Like the reciprocation accepts excuses because the result that you get back only comes from the effort that you put in for the result. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I could say that it was the cause of something else caused the result that I got, but you're not gonna get help like that.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy because like reciprocation is a direct reflection of what you put out, like you just said.
Right,
It's like it's really like a mirror because whatever you sow, you will reap.
right.
So it boils down to like you actually being honest with yourself. You have to
Basically.
be honest with yourself about yourself.
Right, right.
You see what I'm
First
saying?
and
Like being
foremost.
honest
Yeah.
with yourself about yourself because the law of reciprocity, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no way you can be mad at what you get, the results you get because if you be more aware and more conscious about what you putting out, you'll get cleaner results.
Exactly, exactly, man. And I say that that's the most important thing, man. That's one of the most important things, man. Um, when it comes down to improvement, you know what I mean, in one's life, man. When you can hold yourself accountable, you know what I mean, and there's nothing wrong with being in a group, you know what I mean, of accountable, you know, of having an accountability partner. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with that, man. But once you get on a level, man, to understand, that you should accept the responsibility of the negativity in your own life. Oh my God, man! Like you about to embark on some real serious stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm moving because I see a purpose of why I'm moving. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And nobody else has anything to do with it. I don't care if they did do something to you. Like it's not nobody else's fault. It's not nothing else's fault. Because at the end of the day, nobody can put a gun. What? Yeah, that's it. Somebody can put a gun to your head, make you make the decision. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? We should accept responsibility for our own actions.
That's right. That's right. But my question is, man, like, how do you get to that point of realization? Like, because I know like that's a real struggle because I know that struggle personally. Like, how do you get there to the point where you're able to hold yourself accountable? And
What?
I'm not asking you like, yeah, like, yeah, just answer it in your perspective, but also answer it, like for somebody that's listening also.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just start out being, excuse me, start out being transparent, man. You know what I'm saying? And like in my situation, how I came upon this revelation. You know what I mean? I had to go through a drastic situation. You know what I mean? To open up my mental to understand, that the things that I had done were the result, were the results that I was receiving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, and this is why I say you can't control anybody, but you can control yourself. You can control your mind, you can control all of that, but you can't control anybody else.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, I had to go through a drastic situation to understand that, what you put out is what you're gonna get back. You know what I mean? So it all boils down to, man, dag, man, that's I don't know, man. It's kind of tough to answer that question. It's kind of tough to answer that question, man.
Bro, I put it like this. It is tough to get to that point. But it's like it's easier as you go. And that's what I be telling people along with the incremental movement. Like it's really a step-by-step approach.
Right,
First off, you have to really realize that you are in control of your own actions.
right,
You see what I'm saying?
right,
Like you are in control of your actions. You are in control of the way you think. You are even in control of the way you feel. And I'm learning that more personally than ever. I'm learning that more personally now than ever because it's like a lot of times we feel how our body makes us feel,
right,
but really feeling is in here.
right, right. And it's sent down. It's sick. It's a signal sent down.
Exactly. So it's like just because my body tells me I feel bad doesn't mean I have to accept that. Or
Right,
just because like my body feels angry. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have
right,
to accept that. You know what I'm saying? I can fight that emotion in my mind and catch a hold on it, but you won't reach that point until you realize and be aware that you have the ability to control your actions, bro. And like in
Right,
order to control your actions, it starts with controlling your mind.
right, right. And
You know
then,
what
then
I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, man.
But how you
That's that.
control your mind? But how do you
Well,
control your mind?
well, I don't think that your mind is. You can okay. How do you control your mind? You can't control the thoughts that come to your mind, but you can control what to do afterward.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a battleground of good and evil. So it's constantly, you know what I mean? It's constantly shooting thoughts. Thoughts is constantly coming through there. You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter what comes to your mind. The most important thing is what you do after. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? What you do after. You know, and I would say this, man. You know, and until you receive that, you will always put that power in somebody else's hands or something else's hands. You know, and I feel like that's why when we get negative results, you know, we always look to blame something else instead of looking down within and see where I need to improve at.
Right.
Because you really don't understand that you do have that power.
Wow.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that power will always be in the hands of somebody else or in the hands of something else until you get to a place where you can actually hold your own self accountable.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? It
That
is
all
crazy.
play into it. That all play into it. Like I hear you talking about accountability, man, and I'm realizing that that accountability is a lot. Like that means a lot.
It does.
Like to even hold yourself accountable, you got to think much of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's like a standard. You see what I'm saying? Like a self discipline, and that's
Right.
really what it is. Like accountability is just a self discipline,
Right.
but it's a continuous self discipline.
Yes. Yes, it is. It's continuous, man. But it's not continuous. I say this, man. It's not continuous on a like I'm trying to do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like this. After you really understand that concept, it becomes more of a second nature, man. You know, you do it unconsciously. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? It's
yeah.
something that you always going to apply to every situation. And a lot of times we don't realize if we do hold ourselves accountable and move forward with that accountability and accepting the responsibility of, yeah, it was my fault. You don't like we really don't understand sometimes how powerful that is.
Right.
That's so powerful. Like I know, like, you know, coming from the streets of, you know, coming like just being a man, like it ain't that's not normal just to, you know, humble yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just to like come down and see and say that I'm wrong. Like it's my fault. That's not normal. That's not normal. Or I ain't gonna look like no, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
oh nah, you ain't gonna treat me like no. But what we don't realize that put that same fight up with yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. It's just, it goes back to what you were saying in the beginning, man. The blame game.
Right,
It's like you got to take personal responsibility. And it's like that's a personal, bro. Like, yes, like that's a personal experience. Like, you got to stop playing the blame game. And like, honestly, I went to another level in my character, like in life, period, when I
right,
took responsibility for my actions. Like that, like you said, it does something for each individual that reaches that point to be able to admit to themselves that they have a problem, or you know what I'm saying, or that they need to work on something.
right.
So it's like at some point you got to stop playing the blame game, because it's like if somebody does something to you and you do something back, you did it because you try to blame them for what you did. You see what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
it's like yeah, I did this because you know what I'm saying, because you did this and you did that. But it's like what you mean, like you allowed another power or another person or another thing to influence you to do something that you didn't originally want to do.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that tells you had no control over yourself. Like you allowed that thing to control you. So like you
Right.
were never in control of yourself at that point. So it's
Right.
like that's why I feel like we blame other people was because we never was in control of ourselves. So it's like
To begin with.
right. So you won't take responsibility or take accountability until you do that.
Right, man. Right. And I would say, man, like sometimes it takes drastic situations,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, to come to that realization, man. You know, and it's sad, but it's true. You know, it don't have to be like that. Now, can you answer me a question? Like, is there a time where, you know, before you started going down the road of self accountability, that when is the time that you saw that like happening for you? You know what I mean? Where you stop pointing your fingers over here and stop pointing your fingers over there and said, John, like you need to tighten up, man.
Well, I tell you this, it's been continuous,
Okay.
because it's growth.
But I mean the time where it actually happened, because I know it's continuous, but just for our viewers, whoever's watching, man, that
I
could
mean,
take
it's
some.
I put that's what I'm saying. Like, it's levels to it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I didn't just realize, like, okay, yeah, you need to change, and then tomorrow I was just a whole nother person.
Right.
Like, no, I always had the thought of like, yeah, you need to make some changes, but you can know you need to make changes without actually being committed to that change. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, you can know you need to change, but when you reach a certain point, you know what I'm saying, you got to commit yourself to that change. And it
Right.
took a while for me to commit myself to self-change. I would
Right.
look around and point fingers and want people to change, want things to change around me.
Right.
But it took me actually doing it myself
Right.
before I actually started making changes in my life, bro. And so it's like the moment you stop judging outwardly and start judging inwardly, that's when change will come. So it's like I always had that thought, bro. Like you're gonna
Uh-huh.
always see, that you need to improve, but it's always easily said than done. So
Right.
I had to like you said, certain situations come up in your life, you know what I'm saying? Like you be hard headed. You know what I'm saying? So I had to like fight with myself for a while. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying? But you get there, you get to that point of where you just start learning. You start learning from your mistakes. You start learning from whatever it is that you got to go through to get to that point where you really make that full change. And like sometimes you don't make a full change. You make changes bit by bit. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
go at a pace. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All changes don't get made at one time. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? So like I was always evolving,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, with time and with the dedication and with the commitment I had with myself, you know what I'm saying? It just takes that persistence to reach that person, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and I'm still growing, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
still getting to
Right.
that place where, you know what I'm saying, I can point out different things in myself. And when you start getting to that place where you can point out things to yourself, the less you have to say about everybody else.
Exactly. Exactly, man. Exactly. And I agree with you 125,000%, man.
125.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like man, we don't even realize the capability, you know what I'm saying, and the capability and the ability that we can elevate to, through holding your own self accountable, man. You know what I
Focus.
mean? And cut out the BS. You feel me? And also realize that what happens to you, that's your problem.
Right.
You understand? Like that's your problem. Like don't involve. Lord have mercy. Like that's what I'm saying. It's a lot that comes into self accountability, man. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's a lot that we miss out on because it's not there.
Does it hurt?
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Like it hurts. You know, really like we said a couple podcasts ago, man. Nothing is hard.
Uh-huh.
It's only what you don't want to do that's hard.
Right.
You
Right.
see
That's
what I'm
true,
saying?
man.
Like it's like when you like full force want to do something, it's nothing too hard
Right.
for you to not do it. Like,
Right.
because you want to do it.
Right.
The only thing that's hard is something you don't want to do,
Right.
something you making yourself do.
Right.
So it's like, once you see, like, yes, it hurts, but like I said, it goes back to that commitment you have with yourself.
Right.
Like, you just gotta take it. You gotta swallow the pill. Like, I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but it's like, if you committed to yourself on that level, like, you will love yourself that much because you know you have to look in the mirror and get better. Like, in order to get better, you know you have to go through that stage. Like, you got to go through that hurtful stage of realizing the truth about yourself, because that's the only way you're gonna grow. Like, then that's the starting point. Like, that's the starting point of it all. You being able to look in the mirror and accept, the defects about yourself without hating yourself. Without hating yourself, though. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to look in the mirror at yourself to down yourself. You want to look at the mirror in yourself because you're looking for your truth. Like, you looking for your truth. You're not looking for something to pick at yourself about. Like, you looking in the mirror to be like, yes, like, this is where I am. And, like, I believe in myself. Like, you're not looking in the mirror to be like, I'm this and I'm that and feeling bad, but you just being truthful about yourself and like, look, listen, like, this is where I am, but gosh done it, I won't be here next year, or I won't be here next month, or I won't be here next. That's the attitude we gotta have. You know what I'm saying? Like, after looking in that mirror, like, sure, it's tough to tell the truth about yourself, but look at the many benefits that come after the fact once you accept where you are. You accept that commitment that you have with yourself. You accept that journey that you're going to go on, when it comes to changing. You accepting all of that. And like I told you with my journey, like, it was a continuous thing. Like, I had to continue on my journey to fully accept who I am.
Right.
I had to fully accept what I was supposed to do. And that's how I'm able to hold myself accountable, because I accept, you know what I'm saying? I accept where I am, and I accept where I want to go and where I want to be. So I understand there's certain things that I have to do. There's certain things that I have to sacrifice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In order to get where I want to be. And that comes along with it. But that first step is going to open the door for all of those steps. That first step is being honest.
Exactly.
You just gotta be honest with yourself and be honest with where you are. And that's the key, bro, to anything, to any calling. Like, I don't care what you're doing. It can be sports. Like, it don't have to be nothing deep.
Right.
Like, you just be honest with where you are. That's in any profession. Like, it don't matter what you're doing, all across the board. If you be honest with where you are, you can get better.
And that's just the way it is, man. That's just the way it is. Because if you're not honest, like, you're not gonna receive help, man. You go to the doctor, you know what I'm saying? He wanna know the things that's gonna help him find out what's actually wrong with you. You know what I mean? But if you go in there telling him everything that that don't have anything to do with what's wrong with you, like, you're lying, and then you're not gonna receive help. What's up?
I got a good question for you.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about. Now, I know we're talking about holding yourself accountable, and that's standards. It takes self-discipline for that.
Right.
Now, what about when you have people telling you certain things about yourself, but you don't listen? But you know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to improve yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I've been here. Like, I've been there. Like, I'd be saying, like, I'm improving myself and making changes, but really, I'm not really holding myself accountable. Like, I'm really not doing it.
Right.
So it's like somebody will tell you, like, hey, you got a problem with that. Like, it's something wrong with that. You need to check that. You need to check that.
Right.
And you would not listen because you caught up in you caught up in you. And you can't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, you holding yourself accountable on what you feel like you need to hold yourself accountable on. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, but that's not the only thing. Sometimes some people can see something outside, from the outside looking, and sometimes you can hear these things over and over again. And if you tend to hear something over and over again about yourself, you really need to sit and think, like, is this true?
Right.
You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
man.
Like, you know, is this true? Do I need to start holding myself accountable for something else too? You know what I'm saying? So my whole point is like, when you own this thing of growing, you gotta always be open-minded as well. Like you gotta always be listening as well. Because like no closed mind can grow. Just like no closed faucet can
Run
release
water.
water. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like growth, you have to be open for growth. So you
Yeah.
have to be open here. So in order to continue to learn, you got to be open to learning. And so it's like, and that's what I had to learn for myself. Like, don't just hold yourself accountable for the things you think you're supposed to be being held accountable on.
Right.
Like, cause you know, you can give yourself a pass for a lot of things.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like you can be giving yourself a pass for a lot of things. Like you can be holding yourself accountable for being on time, but but you got a bad attitude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but you holding yourself accountable on being on time, but really,
Right.
like, you need to be checking your attitude as well. You get people telling you that you got a bad attitude or whatever. Like, hold yourself, like, check that out too. Don't just hold yourself accountable on the things that you feel like you should be held accountable on.
Right. Right. But be mindful to listen. To be mindful to listen. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Because
so
people
my
on the
question,
outside. Uh-huh.
I ain't even get to the like. I did ask you the question, but I kind of like kept talking on top of it.
Yeah.
But the question is like, do you feel like it's a good idea for you to listen? You know, even if it's bad, like it might not feel good for you to listen to that truth somebody else telling you. Because, like I
Uh-huh.
was just saying, you do have to face your truth to grow. So sometimes that truth might not come from you looking in the mirror at yourself. Sometimes that truth might come through somebody else that's looking at you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Somebody could be telling you something wrong, and you got to be human enough to take a look at yourself also.
Right. But I say,
Right.
man,
So yeah, the question, yeah, I keep going on after I ask you the question. Did you get
that's
the
all
question?
good. It's all good. You now ask me the question. Ask me the question one more time.
I was saying, like, do you feel like a person should listen even when it's bad?
No
Like,
doubt.
I'm not saying like on the first time somebody tell you something, like, of course, like if somebody
Right.
give you an insult, of course
Right.
you're gonna be offensive. But like if you keep hearing the same thing over and over again, do you feel like you should really look at it? Like a person should really look at it and pay attention? Or you should
Yes.
like think it's negative energy? Because sometimes that's tend to like the stance that we take on it, like you just being negative, or you don't understand, or you just don't understand me, or
Well, I mean, if a person is not in a place to see it, then you know what I'm saying, or they do see it and they don't want to change. Like the whole reason you doing whatever it is you doing called growth. What are you doing it for?
right, it don't mean nothing at that point.
Yeah, like okay, you holding yourself accountable for being on time, but you're a crappy person.
Right,
You feel me? Like when it comes down to self accountability, like you got to go across the board. So, like I heard you say earlier, man, about on the journey, you know what I mean, with self accountability, like you have to. It's an overall thing. It's an overall thing. It's not just one or two things. It's
right,
wherever it's wherever an issue is, whatever a problem is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where it is. It's not just a couple things. Oh yeah, I pay my bills on time. You feel me? But like you don't like to help people. Like it's
right.
you know what I'm saying? Like if you ever experience that, you know what I mean, going being accountable for yourself, like it's not just going to happen in a couple areas. You're going to actually search out places, you know what I mean, where there needs to be self accountability. But if a person can't see that that thing needs to change, then of course it's going to affect them in a negative way. You
Right.
know what I mean? Of course it is, man. Like so, yes, it's bad if you don't listen. It is bad, especially if it's something people have been consistently saying to you. Like it's bad. It's real bad, man.
Wow. Man, this was a good conversation, man. It was a really good conversation. But I do feel like this is one of the most toughest things to explain, you
Yeah.
know, because it's like, how do you make it tangible? You know, like it's easy to speak, you know, speak from the position that you in. Like it's easy to speak from, you know, the circumstances that you have, but it'd be like, how do you make it tangible for people who do struggle with, you know, accountability? Like, how do you make it tangible for the people who really do struggle with confidence? You see what I'm saying? That's my main
Right.
thing now. And I'm not asking you that question. Like I'm not asking you to answer that question. But I'm
Uh,
saying like these are questions that I ask myself, you know, so I can get better and we can get better. Like because ultimately, the things that we talk about is to get to the people that really need it and desire to like better themselves. And it's like even if I want the information to be like so powerful, even if you're not willing to change, just to hear us, you consider changing.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's like we got to get it to those people, and it's like I'm praying and I'm asking for more ways to get it to more people and more ways to, you know, relate a message to
Right.
people that don't be on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Is like I know like during this COVID thing, it's kind of hard to plan for social events. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? Because you don't really trust people. But I really desire for us to get more out into the community because those are the people that really have a hard time really seeing it in their mind that they can live a different lifestyle. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, of course, on Facebook and our Facebook friends and people that we know closely, we talk to people that actually work jobs. You know what I'm saying? They work jobs, you know. And I'm not, that's a whole nother different conversation when we get to talking about jobs, but that's not the point I'm making. I'm
Right.
making like we talk to people that actually, you know, they looking forward to doing things.
Right.
You know, whether they working a job or not. We you know, most of the time we are involved with people who do look forward to doing different things.
Right.
But I want to actually reach the masses of people that don't have those opportunities. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? That might not be able to work a job or might not be able to have the access to a better environment, man. So
Right.
it's like I want to be able to reach people on their level. And that's the thing, bro. It's like we on another level. So it's like I want to be able to reach other levels from this
Right.
level.
Uh-huh.
You know, whether it be lower or whether it be higher. You see what I'm saying? That's what the goal is to get the
Right.
information out as far as possible, whether it's in the projects or whether it's in corporate America or whether it's in the church or wherever it may be. The whole
Wherever the
goal is
message
to
is
get it
needed.
to people that need it. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I want to get ways to, you know, make it tangible. That's what I'm saying. Like we talking, that's cool.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? But we working on ways to actually make it tangible. And that's
Right.
why we did the incremental movement. You know, the incremental movement is one of the ways that we can actually make this thing tangible. You know, actually get out in the community with this and actually put it in motion because people, I believe that everybody, I don't care like what status in life or what economic status you have, you know, it's in everybody to want more. Like I feel like everybody got that hunger. Like I don't
Yeah, I
care.
agree.
Everybody got a hunger, bro. Like each level in life, even the homeless man under the bridge, he got a hunger. He wants something better.
Right.
Even if it's not what you want, you may think he should. You may feel like he should want a house, or you
Right.
may feel like he should want more than what he wants. But I guarantee you, he wants something.
And you
I
know
guarantee.
what? Just what you saying that, man, you know what I mean? Um, it'll make you aware of where people are. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, and once you come down, in the journey of self accountability, man, and holding yourself accountable for things, man, like you'll be more considerate
Right.
of other people. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes down to motivating and encouraging people, man, and pushing people,
How?
because it's like you have a built-in gauge now. You know what I mean? To understand where people are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you had to come to that place within your own self. So when you come, see, that's what I'm talking about, man. Reaching the full potential. See, when you come to that place within your own self, then you know it's like a unconscious thing to be the same help for somebody else. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You might not have came through the same situation, you know what I mean? But the situation doesn't change the process. The
Right.
process still the same, you know, but
Wow.
the situations is different. You know
Ooh.
what I mean? That's why I can, I can't, it's certain people I probably can't talk to, about certain things because I've never experienced it.
Right.
But the process is the same. The process doesn't
Wow.
change, man. It doesn't.
It's a jewel.
Like it doesn't though, man. That's why you can speak to somebody, man, and know how far to go, and and what to hold back, and what to say, like, because you understand, because you had to walk through it, you had to come through it, and even to what you were saying earlier, bro, like reaching out to people that's in a lot less fortunate situations, like, fine, like, look, you got to look for whatever it is that you want to do, like, look for it, and once you get it, you can't let nothing get in the way. Now, I'm not saying nothing is gonna get in the way, but it has to
Try to get
be.
in the way.
You say what?
Or try to get in the way.
Yeah, we'll try to get in the way. Like, that's the whole part. That's life. That's life, man. Like, we live every day, man. We come through situation after situation, and sometimes the previous is the next is worse than the previous. You know what I'm saying? But all of it is to build you up for the next each level, each level. It build you up. So, like, if you get strong at this one gym session and you went back to the next gym session, that previous gym session only helped you get stronger for the next one. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But you know, the thing that's gonna hold you in the gym is why. Why you going? You know what I mean? Why you doing it? That's the thing that's going, like, your
That's it.
circumstance.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
what's
That's
that?
it right there, bro. Cause I was just that's it right there. I'm sorry to cut you, but that's it. You just said it. It's your why. Because I was just trying to figure out in my mind, like, how do you get to that place to take your first step?
Right,
And I
right,
feel like that's what's really gonna ignite that energy inside of you to take that jump, bro, is your why, like the reason why you doing this thing. And you
right,
really just answered that prayer within me, bro. And that's why. Like, we gotta really find out ways to help people or help anybody figure out what their why is, man. Like, you see what I'm saying? And I feel like
right,
that'll be enough to push them forward to just do that first step at least, man. Because it's like it's
right.
a fear, it's an anxiety, it's a fear and
Yeah,
an anxiety when to do something for the first time. Like, you got
right,
to think about it, like, to do something for the first time, something you've never done before. Like, you don't know if you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, you don't know the results you're gonna get. So it's like at that point, you're gonna have to have something that's gonna be like, yeah, I don't even care at this point. Like, I don't even care what's gonna happen. I gotta do it. Like, you know what I'm
right,
saying? Like, it's gonna have to be something to drive you there. And it's like that's true either way it go though. Like, if you don't got no strong wife when you while you doing something, you ain't gonna do it long anyway. So it's
right.
like,
That's true. Yeah,
but it does help you. Like, your why, it helps. It makes the difference, bro. Like, you really just summed it up, bro. You
right,
really just
right,
summed it up, because that's what's going to ignite that dog in you.
right.
That's really,
That
it
that
ignite that
will.
dog in you
Yeah,
when you look at the circumstances and you look at what you got to do and you look at why you got to do it. And it got to be
right,
strong enough. Like, you got to be strong enough. You see what I'm saying? For you to goddamn take that first step. But if you ain't got a strong enough why to do something, you ain't gonna have that energy. You ain't gonna have
or the
that energy to
perseverance,
really do it.
the consistency. Like, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. And I say, man, knowing why, because sometimes you can know why. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And you still don't put as much effort into it as you possibly could.
Why is
But I
that?
say, man, you got to get tired. You got to get tired. Sometimes, bro, we be insane. Like, we be straight insane. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because we get mad at the results that we get, but we keep doing the same stuff.
Wow.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, so somewhere there has to be an exhaustion like that's greater than any tired you ever felt. Like, but it have to be within you. Like, you got to get tired of yourself.
That's right, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get tired of yourself, man. In order to reach out, to start reaching out, man, and to helping other people, dude, you got to get help first.
That's right, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get help first. And then sometimes we pour out, we just think we pouring out so much life to somebody else. But like, where you at? Like, where you sitting at? You know what I mean? Where you sitting at in life? Like, where you sitting at? And I'm not talking about from a financial standpoint or about a materialistic standpoint. I'm talking about where's your heart at? Where's your mind at? Like,
Right, man.
where you at? You feel me, man? And I can say that transparently, man, because I've said many things to many people, man, just because I somewhat know how to put words together. So I felt like that was great. But you would advise somebody because it sounds wonderful, but what you telling them, you're not even doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's accountability. That's that accountability. And
right.
see, it shows though, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like, it shows. Like we was talking about reciprocity. We were
Yeah.
talking about reciprocation.
Right,
Uh,
man.
you're gonna get exactly what you put in. So it's like there's no way you can get around it.
Right.
Like there's no
There's
way
no
you
way.
can get around it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna actually like, yeah, you definitely gonna get what you put in. And it's like you really just gotta live your truth, bro.
That's it.
You
That's
see what I'm
it.
saying?
That's
Like you really just gotta just live your truth. And it's just like, and like whatever it is you do, you just got to be honest with it. Like I don't care if it's
right.
right or wrong. Like the main thing is just be honest with it. It's like,
Man, that's I'm gonna cut you off, bro, but that's a big part of it, man. That's a big part of it. A lot of times, man, we can look at others and be judgmental.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Be judgmental because of somebody else's circumstances. You feel me? But the others is in a better place because they're being honest.
right,
You know what I'm saying? They're being honest with themselves. Like, so whether the truth is ugly, I'm talking about, man, you got to go and face some ugly, ugly truths about yourself and say, yeah, yeah, that's me. I do that. Like, you need to do better about it, though. You know what I'm saying? Within your own self. You feel
bro.
me? So, yeah, man, a lot of times we be insane, bro. And we don't even admit it.
Hey, like I reached that point to where I had to admit to myself, I had to realize within myself that I could change.
Uh,
You see what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? That's a place that you got to get. Like sometimes you really just be honest with yourself and just like I can't change.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And even like that's honesty right there for you to be like I can't change.
Right.
That's honesty. That's even you saying that will open up a door for you to be able to change. Cause you
Right.
just admitted like, yeah, I got a hard time doing this. Like this gonna be a hard one. Like
Right.
because you just being honest. And for a long time, like I couldn't do that.
Right.
Like change
Me too.
becomes easier. Change becomes easier when you realize that you actually can do it. Like
Exactly.
you actually can do this. And
Right.
that's when that confidence starts to come, man. Like
Uh-huh.
that confidence starts to come when you realize you can do it.
Right.
And
Like,
sometimes like those situations that you go through in life teaches you, yeah, like, yeah, you can.
you can do it.
Like,
Exactly. So that's why.
but hold on, like that can do it starts with I have to do it.
Right.
Like
Right.
you realized you could do it after you realized you had to do
Right. Right, man.
it.
And you
You see
came
what
on
I'm
the other
saying?
side. When you came out on the other side, you was like, dang, okay.
Like yeah, I can do it. So
and
it's
that's
like,
and that yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's what that like I actually experienced that. There were certain
Mhm.
changes that I wasn't able to make because I didn't feel like I could make them.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't admit to myself that I couldn't make them on my own. Like
Right.
I felt like I could manage to do it.
Uh-huh.
But I wasn't being honest with myself by saying like, this is something I need to work on. Like I have a real problem with this. And
Right.
you try to be prideful and try to say like, nah, I got it under control. Like you be
Right.
prideful, you know what I'm saying? Being prideful is you being a liar. Like folks
Oh
don't
yeah.
want to admit that, but like being prideful is like you just a bold liar.
That's
Like that's all it
that's
is.
the that to me that's the highest level of hypocrisy.
Exactly. Like
You know what I'm saying?
you really could like not have a shoe on your foot and somebody asks you like, hey, you need a shoe? And you say no. Like it's obvious that you need a shoe on your foot.
Right.
But because
Right.
you like you don't want to accept no shoe. You know what I'm saying?
That's retarded, man. But I'm saying we do that.
Yeah, we
We do
do.
that. We do that. We do that. You know what I'm saying? But and then another thing I was gonna say, don't feel that adversity is a bad thing. Like when it comes down to changing, please believe you me, it's gonna be some tough things that you have to face. And the only reason I say they're gonna be tough is because you have to fight you. You know what I'm saying? So in adversity, like it's not bad, but just like a baby is in the womb for 9 months and they got to come through that birth canal. Oh yeah, it's gonna take some time. Like it's gonna take some effort. But adversity is not bad. You know what I mean? That doesn't negate the fact that you have the ability to change. You know what I mean? So never base your ability to change and to be better on your circumstances in life. Like that doesn't. That's some now for some situations, man. I can say that applies because man, it's some extreme situations out here, man. So I can't really speak for everybody like that. But
Yeah.
adversity is a part of the process. It is a part of the process. You know what I mean? Like
And like you were saying, it's life too. Like adversity is a part of life. So it's like
right,
there's no way you can avoid adversity.
right,
Like it's life, like you were just saying, but it's like it all depends on how you go about it. You feel me? Like it's all about like what you like where you add up here. You see what I'm
right.
saying? Like if you strong up here and you got in mind exactly what you're trying to do, like adversity is gonna be like you gonna expect it. Like you already like, hey, I got this
Exactly.
dog. Like you
Exactly. But see, you got to understand that adversity was the one, and this is to the strong. This is strong because it say only strong survive, right? You know what I mean? But only the ones that can endure to the end, not for the swift or the quick. You know
right.
what I mean? So adversity is the thing that's gonna wake up that dog.
Right. That's true.
You know what I mean? Adversity was gonna wake up that snap. Wake up that snap back. Wake up that pit bull. You feel me? Because like you said earlier, like when you go through it, because you have to go through it, you'll realize that you can. You know what I'm
Exactly,
saying?
bro.
So yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like real talk, it definitely takes that.
Hey, bro, without adversity, ain't no good, bro. You know what I'm
Nah, it's
saying?
not.
Like the adversity wouldn't exist without good, and good wouldn't exist without adversity. Because
Right,
it's just like, that's why God created Satan too.
right,
That's why it's always good and evil, bro. Like it's gonna
right,
always be an opposing force going against something that wants something. Like that's how,
right, man.
because it got to be made sure. Like you got to be sure on what you want. So it's
Right.
like if you're not sure, that adversity gonna be like, all right, then the
Oh yeah,
adversity gonna get you. Like you gonna lose.
exactly. Because you're
But
not sure.
if you want it bad enough, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no circumstance, like, and that's why it has to be. That's why we try to tell people, let what you do in life be your sole purpose. Because
Right.
it's like once you have that sole purpose and you got a mission from, the higher power, you gonna have that dog because he gave you that mission. Like he gave you
Exactly.
that mission, and once you realize that he gave you that mission, you gonna be a dog because it's like it got to be done. Because that's where that accountability come in. At like once you see what your mission came from, what you see what you're supposed to be doing, like you're gonna get a fire up under you because you're gonna notice when you don't do what you're supposed to do, you gonna have consequences.
Right. Right.
You
And
see what I'm
you don't
saying?
want to
Like
keep. Yeah.
ex-
Yeah, man.
exactly. And like I
Yeah.
was telling mother the other day, I was having a conversation with our mother, or whatnot, and we were saying like everything happened for a reason.
Mm.
Like everything happens for a reason. Like
Right.
where you are, you supposed to be.
Exactly. I mean, that's true. That's true.
You see what
That's
I'm
true.
saying? And like, of course you're gonna have, where you want to be in mind,
Right.
but it still remains that you are where you're supposed to be.
Right. Right.
You see
I
what I'm
mean,
saying? But that don't mean where you're
everything.
supposed to stay. Like that don't mean where you're
Oh,
supposed to stay. Like
right.
just because you are where you are, that don't mean you're supposed to stay there.
Right.
So
Right.
it's
It's just a
like,
time.
yeah, it's just a time.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, like I said, like God, like that good and evil thing, bro. Like it's the way it's supposed to be. And like by you knowing your purpose in life is gonna instill that in you. And like I was saying earlier, you learn going forward. Like you learn going forward more and more how to dedicate yourself to that. Like
Right.
you're not gonna commit off front, bro, off rip. Like because it's something that you're not comfortable with. Like you have never done this, but
Right.
also it does come easy to you once you find your mission. Like that gift that you have, your gift comes easy, but the
Right.
work that come along with it is the battle.
Right.
Like that, your mission, like actually doing the missionary, like actually doing the work. That's where the battle comes in. That, but you already have the gift, you already have the
Right.
calling,
Right.
but it's just the work that you have to actually get through. And in order to get the work done, there are some things that you have to do, and there are some
Right.
things that you have to be instilled in you. And one of those things is confidence. One of those
Right.
things is persistence. One of those
Right.
things is endurance and consistency. But all of those things come together once you realize what you have to do.
Right.
Those things won't ignite within you unless you really know what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it's different from just having a regular goal. Like anybody can have a goal to just get up and let's say I want to lose 10 pounds next week. Let's say that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a different goal from actually have a life goal.
Right.
Like
Right.
a whole life goal. Like what is my life here for? Like what am I here to do on this earth? That's what I'm talking about. I'm
Right.
talking about a whole life goal. You know what I'm saying? Once you have a whole life goal, once you have a whole life mission and know what you're supposed to be doing here, you know, that when you get to that point, then you'll know,
Yeah.
like, I have to do this. You feel
Right.
entitled to it, like you're dedicated to it, you're committed to it. Because like not only do you know what you're supposed to do, you also know that you have the gift to do it. Like you
Right.
already have the tools. So a lot of the time, people don't accomplish goals because they don't feel like they can do it.
Right.
But once you
Right. I
have a
get that.
purpose and mission in life, and once you see your purpose and mission in life, you'll realize that you have all of the things you need to complete that mission.
Right.
But you just gotta find, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta seek for it. You just gotta seek what your purpose is in life. And I was actually talking to a good friend of mine the other day about that. You
Uh-huh.
know, it was a good friend actually. You know her too. I had sent you over there to met her through Uber and Lyft. I actually sent
Uh-huh.
you over there to give her a ride that one time. But she hit me up and was saying like she was depressed or whatnot. And when you go through situations like that, man, it's mental.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's mental. And it's like sometimes you have to sit back and you have to press.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain type of press forwardness that you have to reach that point to where you'll find out what your purpose is, because you have to think about it. You've been living your life just on the flow. Like you just been flowing with life. You
Right.
without direction. You just been going along with life. So once you realize that, you actually can be more in control in the things that you do and the things that happen in your life, you know what I'm saying? You need to really seek,
Right.
ask God, really pray and seek for it. And I'm not talking about just one day. I'm talking
Yeah.
about seeking and believing that you will seek and that you will get an answer, like, and not stop seeking until you get an answer.
Right. That's why it says diligently.
Right.
Diligently. You know what I mean? That's a continuing press. You know what I mean? That's a continuing press. Like, and it's relentless. It's
Exactly,
relentless.
bro.
You know what I mean? Like that's why I said, like, don't get it twisted like nothing bad is gonna happen, because it is. You know what I mean? But that's the whole reason to press. Like that's the
Right.
press, because you understand that it is hard. So you gotta do it hard. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like, okay, what's next? You feel me? Like, what you got for me next? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, you actually start to look. You actually start to look for it, man. Look for situations. You know what I mean? To brighten up. You know what I mean? You will actually look for this stuff, man. But man, I'm telling you, man, on this journey, man, it's all about self. It's about self to until you get to the point that you understand that self has to be in a place to be selfless. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? Because we don't necessarily live for ourselves. We live for others. You know what I mean? And being,
Right.
and holding yourself accountable, man, like you will find yourself looking out for others just off the strength of holding yourself accountable. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, yeah, like I'm telling you, man, it'll come automatically. And it's certain things that you'll know not to do because you consider others. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's so many times, man, we include innocent bystanders into our, our adverse moments. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to always have somebody to talk to, but keep that circle small. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times we include innocent bystanders, man, and people are affected by the things that we do say. You know what I mean? Whatever. But if you got a sense of accountability for yourself as an individual, man, certain things you won't even do anymore. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's a tough road, but
Right.
you have to be willing. Like you have to be willing. You know what I mean to get there. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro.
I wanna copy this thing, man. I really wanna copy it. It timed out. I wanted to copy I wanted to really copy the Zoom ID and really see if somebody wanted to join the conversation because that's really why I wanted to do it on the Zoom because for now on, like we're gonna have a panel. Like I want to have a panel, so we're actually gonna have people joining the conversation. So if you're not on
Right,
Facebook, if you're not on Facebook and actually on the Facebook Live, you can actually join the conversation. Excuse me, I'm gonna get the
right.
charger. But yeah, you can actually join the conversation live with us. You know what I'm saying? And that'll be the way
That'd
we'll do that.
that'd be great. That'd be great, man. Because I mean, I'm always open to point of views, man, new point of views, different ways of thinking. That's always great, man. And if we can get other people on, man, with like minds, we'll be able to do some things. We'll be able to do some things. So I really, big ups, man, for coming up with this idea, to get people involved this way. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And
bro.
have a live conversation about whatever, man. And we can get different point of views about things, man, and also take away lessons that we can apply to business or whatever the case may be, man, life or whatever, man. But yeah, that's absolutely great, man.
Yeah, man, because I be knowing. Hold on. I know it'd be some great people. It's a lot of great people that I know would love to actually join the conversation. And pretty soon we'll be having another show, man, a really good show pretty soon. And that person will be live on the panel. We
Hmm.
don't want to reveal who that's going to be, but I'll let you know and I'll let everybody know when it's time. But this is something that we're going to be incorporating, man. Like we're really going to be incorporating the live from Zoom and sharing it on Facebook because I feel
Right.
like it's a very useful tool because you can fit a lot of people. You can fit up to 100 people on here,
Oh yeah,
and
most definitely.
and people can join the Zoom too, and they can join the Facebook Live. So we can
Right,
be getting the audience from Facebook, and we can be releasing the Zoom ID out to other people that can join the Zoom Live.
right,
So we'll be sending out the Zoom, and we can be letting people know that we're going live on Facebook as well. So people that
right,
are looking, we will now be on Zoom as well as Facebook. We'll be sharing on Facebook, but we'll be live on Zoom.
Yeah.
But I thank you, CL4 man, for being on the show. And it's like one more point that I really want to let people know, you know, before we get off. And this is really about the accountability.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course we do know that what you put out, you're gonna get back. Like we do know that. I'm pretty sure everybody know that. But my thing is like a lot of us go through life, and I have done it at one point. Like we go through life just doing this little karma thing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you just be in fear. Like you just be in
Yeah.
fear to not do stuff because you're scared to get it back.
Right.
But I feel like you shouldn't be in fear when it comes down to that. You should just be conscious. Don't be
Right.
fearful. Be conscious. Be conscious of like just be conscious of what you do to other people. Not just because it's gonna come back on you. It's just like it's because like you don't want to treat nobody
The
bad.
way you don't want to be treated.
Right. Not anybody want to be treated. Like it's just not just you. Like no nobody want to
True
be
that.
treated like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
not just about you. So it's just like you got to think about it in that aspect as well. Don't just be like tiptoeing around stuff like, nah, I don't want this to happen to me. Because it might be
Right.
some stuff you don't care about, like that you let slide and you still do to other people and you don't care
Right.
about it coming back on you. So don't do it just because of the karma. Do it because you're a
Right.
good person. Do it because you know what I'm saying, you got a heart for
Right.
people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Also,
Most definitely.
the incremental movement, man. We do want to shout out the incremental movement before we get off. And I'm gonna let you talk about the incremental movement this time. Of course, you know what it is.
Well, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm glad that we started this as well, man. And this is another tool that we have. If you're a goal-oriented person or you looking to better yourself and you need an accountability group, you know, incremental movement is definitely for you. And if you know anybody else with a like mind as well, man, tell them, come on in. We getting up there, with the number of followers, man. And as you know, at 100 people, we're definitely going to make it a closed group because we do want to protect the energy of the group. And also, if you're in the group and there's no productivity, we'll definitely remove you from the group because we definitely want to um, keep the energy safe. You know what I'm saying? And if there's anything that we could do, you could hit us at any time in the inbox or whatever. But yeah, definitely look into the incremental movement, and this is something, basically for goal-oriented people that need some help with accountability. And
Yeah, and also, bro, like the main thing is that uh the community is for a judge-free environment. You
oh
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like because a lot of times we be wanting to do things and we go let people know our goals and we get discouraged.
right, right,
So that tends to be one of the big problems that we have. So with that being said, you have a place where you can come and share your goals and you don't have to worry about somebody like, oh, like that your goal ain't big or oh man, that's a they're gonna talk about your goal. You see what I'm saying? But the thing about it is that you can share your goal with us because we believe in achieving goals as well. So when you're
right,
around other people that's achieving their goals, we don't have time to talk about your goal. Only thing we talk about is helping you with your goal and
right,
motivating you to continue to work on your goal, and holding you accountable on that goal. And we just got through talking about accountability, which is one of the
right.
most important things that you have to have when achieving anything. You got to hold yourself accountable because when
Most
things
definitely.
don't go as planned, when things don't go right, you got to have that sense of accountability and responsibility to bounce back from it. And
Exactly.
if you don't have that, when you make a mistake, you know what I'm saying, everything gonna fall to pieces. You
Right,
see what I'm saying?
right,
But
man.
but also, man, that's what the incremental movement is all about. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping each other powerful and keeping each other motivated and keeping each other, on a high vibration, and if at any time you feel the need to message us about a specific goal that you need help with, we're here to help you because the ultimate goal of this this movement is to have a fund that we fund other people goals out of. That's why we have it open to where people could, donate to us. Like if you go on the incremental movement page, you can make a donation to our PayPal. But that account is to be able in the future to fund people's goals. You see what I'm saying? Like if a person had a goal, it could be just going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like something that means something to them. Like it's gonna be something that they trying to accomplish. If we can help them in any way, and if their goal is gonna help them become a better person in any way or help anybody else, we're gonna help them do that. We want to be a part of their success and we want to be a part of their goal achievement. And so
Right.
that's the whole point of the incremental movement, realizing that you might not be able to accomplish your goal all at one time, but we're going to help you accomplish your goal bit by bit. And we're going to do that by holding you accountable and keeping you motivated and keeping you encouraged when you need it.
Right. Right.
So yeah, and also we're gonna put that in the comments. We're gonna share this podcast to the incremental movement page as well. So you'll be able to see it from the incremental movement page and from the financial fashion page and from the personal page of my own and the CFO's page. Also, we do have a YouTube. We do have a website, fnfstore.com. You also can get information on the podcast from there because we got the links. I've put the links and everything. You got the information about who we are, what we stand for as a company. You got our YouTube information. You got our Instagram on there. You even got the link to the Shopify. I mean, not the Shopify, but the Spotify for the podcast. You got that on the website as well. So the website is a good place to really know what we do. We sell products on the website, shirts, hoodies, anything or whatnot that you guys will be interested in that will keep you motivated and will keep you inspired, in whatever calling that you have in life. So with that being said, man, is there anything left that you would like to say, CFO?
Yeah, man. Before we sign off, man, I just want to say, man, accountability is a very important part of life. You know what I'm saying? It's a very important part of helping other people. And the law of reciprocity, man, and accountability, they run hand in hand. And once you figure that out, you'll be aware that what you put out, that's what you get back. Like you don't get back results in your life for nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't it. Some people are born into situations. Some people, are just, sometimes it just happens because it's not your fault. But a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, it comes from not holding yourself accountable. You know what I mean? But self accountability, man, you get back what you put out. I don't care if somebody else do it to you. You get back what you put out. You can't control somebody else, but you can control you. Y'all remember that. You can't control somebody else, but I can control me. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow,
that's
man,
the
you
thing.
kind of almost just brought out another point. Like, man, that's crazy. Yeah, you brought out another point, but it's crazy
Man, but yeah, bro.
because like
But
what you give back can change it.
what you, huh?
Like we talk about reciprocity.
Uh-huh.
If somebody gave you something, right?
Uh-huh.
And you have to decide on what you give back. So you have to understand the power that's in what you give back.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
like,
You
like,
can you can you can give something of equal value, or you can give something of greater value.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
But
But
what you give is what's gonna make the difference in your life. Like, don't worry about like
right,
whether
right.
whether it's gonna change something in their life.
Exactly. It's not for them.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? It's for you. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Like it's for you, man. That's man, all this stuff. Scripture, man, this is, what I'm saying? Like real talk.
Yeah, man.
Like you need to do things to hold yourself accountable. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because
man.
when you blame other things and other people, then you actually relinquish your own power to control your situations.
Right,
You feel me? Like, yeah, you giving it away. You giving it away. Giving away your power. Once you give something the responsibility of a result that you yield that you didn't like, you gave something else or someone else that's power for you to control that.
Yes,
You don't have no more control. Like that's out of your hands now because
exactly,
you
man. You
saying,
gave it up. You forfeited
uh,
it.
yeah, you forfeited it. You forfeited it.
You
You
gave
know what
them.
I'm
You
saying?
gave your power over to, like, we give our power over to emotions. Like, it's just like at that point it's just like, you lost because emotions got you at that point. You don't gave your
Right,
power of, the control over the situation. You gave it to your emotions, and now your emotions finna run with it. And your emotions,
right,
man, I'm learning, bro, because coming from an emotional person, I learned that emotions aren't the time you need to make a decision. Like,
no,
if it's something that's gonna, like, make a drastic change, like, I'm learning to sit with it or not say
yeah,
nothing at all. Like, I'm learning to avoid situations, like, instead of saying something that's going to make it worse, or instead of doing something that make it worse, let's avoid it. Like, what's a way to avoid and prevent it? Or
right,
or let's talk about a solution. Like, I'm talking about, like, not let's not stay on the problem. Like, I'm going straight from problem to solution. Like,
right,
straight from finding the issue to making adjustments. You see what I'm
right,
saying? So it's like
right. Don't let it
that's where
linger.
I'm at.
Don't let it linger. Don't let it linger. Like, don't
Can't,
let it
bro.
linger. Go ahead and take care of it right then. Like, don't let it linger. A lot of times, man, I know yeah, man. You let fruit linger in the refrigerator, you know what happened
Hey,
to it.
exactly,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying? It's the same way. It's the same way, but it does that to your heart. That means the center of the will of your emotions. You know what I mean? You allow
My
things to
God.
sit up in there and you let them fester and they turn into diseases. You know what I'm saying? And you wonder why, like, man, it's the law of reciprocity, man. You can't control nobody else, but you can control you.
Right.
And that's what we should focus on because once you master you, man, you can help the world. You know what I'm
That's
saying? You can help the world, man. You can help the world. So, yeah, man, that's on that. Yeah, bro. We close it out on that note,
on that note, man. I'm glad to be on another episode of Financial Fashion Talk, man. Like you said, episode 36. We got
man. Yeah,
four, what, 16 more episodes to go before we make it a complete year that we have started Financial Fashion Talk podcast. So that's crazy.
right.
That's gonna be a
Right.
big accomplishment. You already know we got to do it big on that day. We got to do
Mhm.
something for that day because it's gonna be our year anniversary of us starting
Right.
this podcast, man, and that's gonna be huge. But I
Yeah.
thank you, CFO, for being on the show. I thank everybody who watched. I thank everybody who liked and commented or whatever it was that you did to help out the show. But I'm going to see you guys next week for episode 37. I'm the CEO, Mr. John Best.
CFO, Mr. Riley Best.
Hey, man, and we gone. See you guys next week.
Have a wonderful evening.
Okay, now let me see. Yeah, I got to end it on Zoom, bro.
Yeah, that's fine.